by telling them yes or no. First words they learn, yes or no, along with mom or dad or Hobbs. My eldest son's first words were, look, combine, because we were going to the farm and we'd been reading him the book on farm implements, and when he saw the actual combine working in a field, he made the visual connection between the book and the pictures we'd been giving him and the actual thing. And he was just astonished. Look, look, combine, combine, combine. And he got all excited because there was something real that before was just a picture. This development is exceedingly important. The more connections the newness can make through the mom's picturing and telepathy, the more easily they'll be able to adapt to our society and living. Now, oftentimes, the mom doesn't realize that they're telepathic. And they learn it from the newness, through trial and error. They do it through some body language, and then that transfers, that body language can transfer to a positive thought then, and the body language then is definitely related to the mental energy of the newness. Now, I use this protocol if they haven't, if the mom, if as a mom you haven't made the connection yet. Now, a pet can help. You know, if you close your eyes and open your mind to feeling, not thinking, but just to feel. Feel for an energy. Then you can sense the newness energy, because it'll be different from your own. Just like the pet's energy is different from your own and from the newness. When you can make this designation, you become telepathic with your children, with the animals, and you can with plants as well. Now, on the internet, I've talked about this, and I received an email from a young woman in Mexico City. And she was an equestrian rider, and she was working towards an Olympic birth to represent Mexico. And she was saying that if she wasn't telepathic with her horses, she wouldn't be nearly as good a rider as she is. That when they go through the courses, they go through it together. And I hadn't heard that before. But it's very logical to me that this can take place. Now, when I first, in my other Was a Psychic Child stories that are online, under wasapsychicchild.com, I talk about my being on the farm, my grandpa's farm, dairy farm, and how I talked with the animals. When I was 3 years old. And they liked me because I was like a very, very young child to them, or a very young calf to them. So they would treat me very kindly and help me do things, because I could help them do things. If they wanted a little extra feed, I could do that, because that was one of my jobs, was to go to the silo and with a little wheelbarrow suited to my size, and I'd fill it up with feed and then go and give them each a measure. Now, the interesting thing about telepathy is that your mind structures it, your pictures, like it does sentences. So you might have lots of pictures that you don't project, that you select from to make your statement. Now, what this means is that you control your picture thoughts. Now, that means that you have secrets. And your mind just doesn't run wild and tell everything. It only tells what you want it to tell. So you do have privacy. And that's important in our society, in our adult society. Now, the big advantage, of course, as your children grow, is that you have a family language. Now, it's important also if the dad wants to be part of that. Some dads don't, but some do. You can do a tree protocol. If the dad can't catch on within the family structure, then I recommend, and this works really well, going and finding an old tree and take it a gift. I like to take coffee grounds, and I put them at the very edges of where the new branches are and spread it around the ground. Now what happens is coffee is an aphrodisiac for worms. So that means the worms are attracted to the coffee, they reproduce, they process more soil and enrich it for the tree's new roots. The tree really likes that. A slight solution of sugar water does the same thing. Interesting. But with your back to the tree, you open your minds. The energy of the tree is really very evident. It's very powerful. So you can identify, everybody can identify the tree's energy. Then you open up and you can recognize the energy of each individual that has their back to the tree, just like you do. They can recognize your energy. Now, once that energy is recognized, that opens the door to telepathy and to picturing. And I recommend that you picture to the tree each of your faces and smiling and picture you're giving the tree the gift, and then that's when you give the tree the gift, is when you thank it and leave. Most trees don't have a very high opinion of people because they aren't contacted telepathically. Once you contact them telepathically, they will open up and they will welcome you to come again and talk with them about what it's like to be a tree and what it's like to be a human. My youngest, we had a linden tree in our backyard when I lived in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And my youngest son, as he was learning to read and exchange his picture thoughts for words, he would go up into the tree and he taught the tree how to read. And he would stop as the tree would ask questions, and he would answer the questions. And then the tree, through root communication or telepathy, educated all the oak trees that were in the park across the road. So when he was up in the tree reading the picture book, telepathically, all the trees in the park were quiet. None of their leaves would move. They're all listening so intently to the telepathic stories that were being told. Yeah, Ypsilanti, Michigan's park oaks are maybe one of the smartest trees in the world. As he continued to read to them even into elementary school. It's important that as the adult, you share the information. You don't dominate. You learn probably more from your child now than the child is learning from you. Because the child is connected now to the universe and gets all kinds of information from them through all the other forces or all the other energies that the universe offers. There's one that we call just knowing.